Well, it's interesting that the hallucination hypothesis has had a sort of resurrection over the last 20 years, you could say. But it suffers from the same problems that it did 100 years ago when it was largely rejected. It's what we do know about hallucinations that makes the resurrection appearances of Jesus extremely unlikely. For example, in multiple studies, we find that about 50% of bereaving senior adults grieving over the loss of a loved one, about 50% of them experience some sort of a hallucination of their deceased loved one. And these are the group of people most likely to experience a hallucination. But of those sorts of hallucinations, only 7% experience a visual hallucination. So that's what I mean is 7% of all senior adults bereaving the loss of a loved one experience a visual hallucination of their loved one. Now think about this. When it comes to the disciples, it says that Jesus appeared to them. All these things about appearing, these are visual. He appeared to all of them, all of the 12, and then to more than 500 at one time. So you've got not just 7%, but an unthinkable 100% who would have seen Jesus, visually hallucinated Jesus, simultaneously, and the content would have been the same. For example, they hallucinated Jesus rather than the Jewish or Roman guards coming through the door. So these things make it extremely unlikely that what the disciples experienced with these appearances were hallucinations.